Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick, and we are once again back playing some Dark Souls 3. And that was an epic sword miss right there. This is, once again, the very beginning of the game. This footage was captured at a press event held in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. And Bandai Namco allowed me to play about 4 hours of the game, and I was able to post 45 minutes of video on the channel. We may or may not go over that limit by about 2 minutes. I tried editing this video down as much as I possibly wanted, just so you guys can get the entire feel of this next new area. But I think I'm going to be about 2 minutes over my time limit. So if the channel just stops working or goes down mysteriously, you know exactly why. I personally don't think it'll be a problem. But anyways, the goal of this video is we're going to be checking out a new area in the game, which is called the Undead Settlement. A couple of new enemy types, such as this guy right here with the gigantic cleaver, and we're going to be tackling the final boss that was available in this preview build, which, spoiler alert, I did not beat during my time. I got so close a couple times, and I think based on the vibe I was getting for everyone else at the event, there was only about 4 or 5 people that actually beat the final third boss, and I was not one of them, sadly. I have these like little imp guys hiding in the shadows. So yeah, did not beat him, but it was a pretty cool encounter nonetheless, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the battle. But anyways, this is the Undead Settlement, and this corpse right here actually plays a different role in the game with an NPC that you can encounter. If you search the area a little bit further, it's actually his dead wife or lover girl, if you will. And I don't know, it's some guy. I saw another video of it, and some guy in a cellar, he asks you to look for his wife. But this is the Undead Settlement, as you can see right here. There are a lot of enemies in this main hub of the village, and we're gonna descend all the way to the bottom here. And as well, take note, if you do get a chance to see it, that there's like a castle in the background. So one thing about this game that's really cool is that the environments are awesome, and basically everything that you can see in terms of distance in the background, you'll actually be able to go to. It kind of keeps in, I mentioned this in the previous video, it kind of keeps in the feel of, in the first Dark Souls game you're kind of ascending, but in this game it kind of feels like you're descending the entire time. You're going lower and lower and lower. But this main hub area of the Undead Settlement is really cool. I didn't want to fight this out because I knew what was going to happen. This is a key item right here, Loretta's bone. But anyways, I knew what was going to happen is if I would like waste, well, I wouldn't say waste my time because it'd still be fun, but I would use a bulk of my playing time killing these guys, and I probably would have just ended up fighting a big enemy, and then I would have died and got sent back, and then it just would have been a gigantic waste of time. One section of this area that I did discover that I had to just edit out due to time restraint purposes is that there's a cool like a sewer area where you'll encounter a familiar enemy type. And what we'll find in the sewer is a gigantic pack of rats, and they're all led by one big rat. And sadly, there weren't any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the sewers either, having like a peace party or something. But it was a fun encounter. It was very stressful because I actually at that point had 0 Estus Flasks. So if I would have died, it would have been really far back travel to the previous bonfire. But I killed them all very slowly and carefully. And for my troubles, I was rewarded by the end with a locked gate that I didn't have a key to. So yeah, so we're gonna enter this next section, and there are different enemy types here. Some villagers, there's some enemies in the tower hucking bombs at you, and we're gonna encounter a new enemy type further along here that actually kind of gave me a little bit of a surprise. We'll see this gigantic guy with this pot or mortar, if you will, and completely smashes me right here. And I was taken off guard because of how fast he was, because I was initially thinking that he'd be a slow character. I could kind of just kite around, but look at him. It's like Jordan's on right now. He has like mad hops. grinding me into mush. But yeah, he was a really cool enemy type to encounter. And my first time, I was like, when I fought him and he made that huge leap, like took me completely by surprise. One of those things, once again, I wish I would have captured with live commentary. But anyways, so we're gonna, a little bit further past it, we're gonna do a quick transition here. You'll see where I died. We'll find the next bonfire that we're going to encounter. And this is kind of like the checkpoint to the next main boss, which is pretty cool. It's kind of disgusting. And like I said at the very beginning of the video, I did not have an opportunity, or I was unable to defeat him. But just before that, there's this kind of little ledge here right beside the bonfire where you'll see a bunch of spears in the ground and you'll see a tree. And when you pass it for the very first time, you'll see a bunch of spears raining down from the sky, and they will completely demolish your character if you obviously get hit by it. And I didn't actually discover him I didn't discover him, but I talked to people who played the build, and what there is literally a huge, gigantic giant, for the lack of a better word. See, I discovered this bonfire by accident just because I was chasing this lizard. Luckily, I found him. But anyways, there's a gigantic giant in the castle beside me, and he's throwing down spears onto this little white tree a little bit further up in the path. And if you go into the castle and you talk to him, you can actually befriend him, and he'll stop doing what he's doing, and he'll stop harassing you as you make your pass through to the next boss of the area. So this is the checkpoint. What you're about to see is my best run at defeating this boss, and he's literally a gigantic tree that has been infected by some sort of disease or something. Anyways, I noticed that it's kind of like a common theme with all the bosses in this game, especially the first one and this one, is that in their second phase or their second stage of the fight, they either grow some appendages or get larger, or they just explode in a pus, and they basically have an oil base to them, so that makes them actually a little bit easier to manage because they are susceptible to fire attacks. So if you want to use a fire addition to your weapon, or you want to huck fire bombs at them at a distance. So yeah, this is my best run at it. So at the very beginning, you'll see that he's kind of surrounded by a lot of ads, a lot of other characters that will kind of get in your way. My best suggestion, or how I approached it, is at the very beginning of the fight, I actually don't try to hit him at all. I don't kill the additions or the ads. I kind of kite around him, and then he has like this roll ability, which he'll do is he'll basically roll on all the other enemies and pick them out. So it makes your life a little bit easier. You don't have to individually fight them yourselves. And when it's kind of disturbing, but his weak point is literally right in his crotch area. You'll see those boils on his penis. I'm gonna say it. Basically on his dick. You're hitting his dick the entire time, and then once you get a couple hits into there, this is fail right here. Once you get a couple hits into his groin area, you'll see that we'll go to the next stage of the fight. And I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys, but you'll see it is. And then eventually, instead of his groin area, his individual limbs also have weak points as well, and then on his back. And yeah, and also we'll have like this really big hand that's kind of in the middle of his body. If you hit the hand, it's his most weakest point. It's the point where you'll do the most damage to him. But the hand, its attack pattern is really difficult to read, and if it hits you, it can actually pick you up and deals massive damage to you. But I'm gonna stop talking here because I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of the fight. And this will be my last video of this early access Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. The series will resume on release date, and I will actually be playing it on PC. The reason I'll be playing it on PC is because it has been confirmed that the PC version of the game will be running at a full 60 frames per second. So it's gonna, first playing on PC, it's gonna make the load times a little bit better, and it'll make it better watching for you guys to see it in a full 60 frames per second. So enjoy the rest of this fight, and I will see you guys for the rest of the series on release date. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed, as always, drop the video a quick thumbs up, and I shall see you guys on April for the full release of Dark Souls 3. Alright, as always, have a fantastic day.